Hi, it's Leanne from ZOE Network, and I am thrilled to introduce you to Mel Briere, who lives in Cornwall, Ontario. Mel took the Identity Facilitators training course last year and has since just finished up leading her first local group through and loved it so much that she's starting with a second group next week. So we're just thrilled that people like Mel have stepped up and said, listen, I so believe in this course and this message that I want to help really share this message more broadly. So yeah, welcome, Mel.
Thank you.
So tell us a little bit about the impact of the course on you, just as a wife, mama, leader, teacher. What happened for you as you went through the course?
I think mostly I went through the course last year, about a year ago, almost to the date I finished this or started it at rather for the first time. And it really impacted me. I learned a lot about myself last year. Really, I feel like when I became a wife and I became a mom, my identity kind of got lost in my roles that I play as a person. Like I'm a mom and my identity is mixed with that, but that kind of took over who I was
Okay.
because, I'm very full-time mom. My husband um, works a lot, especially in the season. He's a seasonal fisherman. So like, it's a lot for me to like, we don't see very much of him in the summer. So it's like, I'm 100% mom. And so I think God really showed me who I was outside of being a mom and outside of being a wife and who he created me to be. I think God called me to something last year, and I'm almost ashamed to say this because I feel like I'm just working through it, but God called me to stuff last year through this course. But because of some of the things that were happening at home and in my life, I kind of did one of these step backs where I thought, no, like I'm not ready to take that plunge. I filled out that SMART goal worksheet and I had a date in mind and I had everything, but I was like, no, God, like I can't do this yet. Like I'm not ready. And so recently, like just finishing up our 6 weeks with my first group of ladies, I really feel like as much as it's impacting them, I feel like it was like a full circle. God brought me right back to where I was a year ago, and he was like, listen, like this is what I have for you. This is what I want for you. And it was so crazy how it literally, I feel like I'm back a year ago and I'm like, hey, seriously, like, why didn't I just listen the first time? Because my worksheet will probably looks the exact same, but now it has dates on it and I'm determined like I'm taking these steps forward. So it was really amazing. So
Oh, that's so awesome. And hey,
yeah.
like, you know, don't beat yourself up too hard because like following Jesus, especially into things that we're not, I always say that God will never ask us to be someone we're not, but
Yeah.
it will always require stretching as we follow him. So I love that you're stretching. And it's interesting that you say that as you're facilitating, you're learning more. And I just finished facilitating a group, and the same thing is happening for me. And I helped write it, so it's just kind of neat because it's exercises that really get you looking deeply, right? Which is
Yeah.
neat. So this group that you just took through, so what impact has it made on that you've seen, that you've gotten feedback about?
So I know even just week 2, week 1, like, you're kind of just like introducing, but as early as week 2, it was crazy how much these women, I don't want to say doubted themselves, but didn't see, like, they got their strength test and a lot of it was focused around the strength test, but some of it the spiritual gift test, and they questioned these things. And I was really fortunate. All these women really know each other. We all attend the same church. So it was kind of nice, even just as a facilitator, but for all of us, somebody would like list out their strength and they'd be like, I don't see this, like I don't understand this, and instantly we would almost like dive at them one at a time and be like, are you kidding? Like you do this every day, look at what you do when you're leading this ministry and this. And it was just so amazing to watch these women like fit completely into where God is calling them. And
Yeah.
I wasn't surprised by any of their strengths, and I've known them for a long time, but it was nice for them to realize, okay, wait, no, you're right. Like I do that. And, doing their timeline, seeing that God is bringing them places. It was just, the impact was crazy. Like, I'm so excited for this week to kind of like wrap it up. And I've been on the girls to kind of pray this week because I really want to like just pray over each one of them. And I want them to, do that SMART goals. Because I think that God is taking each and every one of them somewhere. We actually have a girl 17 years old doing it with us.
Okay.
And where God has taken her during this time of quarantine, like it's unreal. Like I'm watching her grow over the last 6 weeks, and it's so beautiful. So it's just amazing.
Like I think of myself at 17, and if a group of women had come around me and named me, because that's pretty much what we're doing, is we're calling it out of people and saying, no, these are your strengths, these are your spiritual gifts, and you've been given this for purpose. And what that looks like in everyone's life is completely different. But can you imagine if you'd had that message at 17?
I think I say to her every single week, I say, you are going to be that much further ahead, because before you have a husband, before you have kids, before you are like, different roles and even like leadership within the church, like you are learning about who you are and who God says you are and what God's purpose is for you. Like, I think this young girl, like she's probably better off than all the rest of us, because she's doing it like she's going to have all this information about herself before she gets into a relationship, like, and she's taking it seriously. Like some of these gifts, she stepped in and like, she's, leading some of our youth during this time and checking in with them. And like, it's a natural born leader. And I'm so proud of her. So it's awesome.
I love that.
Yeah.
This, we have really changed how we do our resources. We used to just put our resources out there for people to use. And then we learned, and I'm a bit of a slow learner, but that people needed to experience these courses before they can actually lead them. So when people are involved in a facilitator's training, they go through it as a person, as a leader, as a woman, almost with two hats, as a participant, but also then thinking about how they can lead. Because I mean, our heart is that people like you would take this curriculum and then look around and develop like the 17-year-olds in our communities, and giving them that head start of understanding, who they are. So I love it.
Yeah, I do. I think it's amazing. And like she personally has grown, but like, even we're a group of 5, I would be the 6th person, but we're a group of 5. And like these 5 women, like, I feel like even just where they were 6 weeks ago, they've learned so much about themselves. And I feel like they will walk out of this next week with such confidence and just like knowing where they're headed. Like, even we have a little group chat that we chat on Messenger. And today, probably for the first hour and a half of my morning, we were just like encouraging each other and chatting with each other and praying and talking to each other. And it's such a powerful way to bring women together. And I say to them, like, at the end of all of this, you basically have your accountability group set, because we all know what you're saying that you want to do. So now we're all watching to see if you do it. So it's really amazing.
Thank you for doing this, like, thank you for just having a heart for the women around you to raise them up. Now someone's listening to this and they think, oh, facilitator training, do I want to get involved in this? What would you say to them?
I think, I remember when I got asked if I wanted to do it, and the first thing I look at is, I'm like, oh, it's $100. Like, you kind of like think like, okay, like obviously that's where our mind goes first, is money. Yep. I think it's probably the best $100 I've ever spent. I believe in this. I really think that watching yourself grow, like this isn't just about other women, but first yourself. If you take this course and you do the facilitators training and you watch yourself grow, and then you get this opportunity to help women discover who they are, like, I just think it's such an amazing, I know, it's like,
All
it's,
day, every day.
there's so much, just like, I'm beaming with pride. I'm so excited for next week. Like, just watching these women like talk about who they are and really open up and share with me and the group, like it's amazing. There's no other words really to describe it. I know we've chatted about even your next one kind of coming up, and like I'm so excited. Like it's not even a question now. It's like, okay, I want to do this because the reward is so great. Like it's so worth it just for the reward at the end.
Absolutely. So the next course that you're alluding to is called Relate, and we're starting to train facilitators in that course. That's all about self-leadership and self-awareness and emotions and conflict and all that good stuff. But you know, the heart behind this is to really activate the call within people, because we all have a part to play in God's kingdom. And sometimes, well, no, not sometimes, we always need help from others to, you know, see what we don't see, and to really encourage and call it out of us. And, you know, like, you'll take groups of women through, but then maybe you'll go on a short-term mission with ZOE. Maybe, you know, come to Cambodia, come to Vietnam. Like there's just, you know, when women start to dream, and to think that maybe, yes, this is something I can do, watch out. Just watch out. So.
And I think that's the exciting part, is just watching these women grow and see what they're capable of. And I feel like if I can almost recommend anything, and I know that you say this in your introduction, like a nice small group, like we have a nice group of 6 and we've really got to know each other. But like, because you want to give everybody the opportunity to share their piece, you almost need that small group to give everybody that opportunity in the small time that you really get with them every week, because we're limiting it to about an hour and a half, 2 hours. But I know some days I'm like, okay, guys, like, I don't want to like stop this, but like, we're getting to bedtime here, but like, like 9 o'clock, and like, it's really like, I've been up since, you know, but I know that it is like that. You really form this bond with these women. And I'm so excited for my next group to start in the next couple weeks. But I know that like this group that I've also done it with, like, you know, you build that bond, and I'm so excited just to continue that with them as well. So it is awesome. It's amazing.
Well, thank you so much for leading in this way. And hopefully this is an encouragement for you who are listening to Mel, and you're like, maybe I could do that. And we will say to you, yes, you can.
Yes, you can.
Thanks so much. Thanks so much.
Thank you.